What's going on, guys? Harold here, Figuremania Show. Hope you guys are doing well wherever you are in the world. And in today's video, I am happy to show you guys the brand new Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Kong Skull Island figure. And I'm really happy with this figure. I spent a few days doing toy photography with this, and I'm really impressed with it. Now, before I go any further, I want to give a special shout out and thank you to Kowkis Toy and also Hiya Toys for sending me their copies for review. And if you guys are in the market looking for the best place to get your Monsterverse figures, look no further than KowkisToy.com. If you guys shop there, when Hiya Toys releases their figures, Kowkis also gets theirs the same day, and Kowkis ships out all their figures very quickly. And you can use my promo code Figuremania-kowkis to get 6% off your purchase. Now, on with the review. Let's first look at the accessories that comes with this figure. So we get the tree that comes with this figure. Really nice. This is nice and flexible, so you don't have to worry about this breaking off or anything like that. So you see I'm like ruffling it, and it's, you know, it's pretty, it's there. It's pretty nice and sturdy. Okay, and it's flexible. Okay, so it's pretty good. I like the details on the tree, very nice. Even the broken branches, the paint apps, very cool. Okay, and with this figure you get 4 sets of hands. So you have the open hands, you get the fists, you get the knuckles, and you get the hands that you need to grip the tree. Now, what's nice about these hands is that they're very flexible. So like if you're having trouble, you know, opening, you know, putting the tree in his hand, moving his fingers is very easy, because like they're using like this, the plastic that they're using for this figure feels a little bit more flexible and like more bendable and things. So, you know, you can accommodate things in his hand easily, so which is nice. And now, this time we do get 2 heads instead of 3. So we have the roaring head, and then we have the grinning teeth head. So it has nice detail. I like the eyes. I like the paint app on the teeth, inside the mouth. Looks very good. Looks very nice. Okay, so you can see like they got like the sculpted fur on his face. The eyes look good. The teeth, the color of the teeth is nice. I really want to get into the articulation of this figure, because that for me is the biggest change and improvement over the last Kong figure that we got from Hiya Toys. So this time around we do have butterfly joints here on the joints, and the cut on the shoulder is a little bit higher and things, so it allows for more range on the arm, so he can move his hands straight up like this, which is nice. And this time you can actually get him to touch his face, okay, which you were not able to do with the previous figure. Okay, now this figure, this part here is a free floating piece here. So like when you guys are you know, posing him and things like this, it'll pop out like that, you know, but then you just have to just shove it back in, you know. But you got very good range of this time around in the shoulders, so you can get like that T pose. Okay, and again, like as I said, you can get him to touch his head, his face. Okay, so you got a swivel here at the bicep, and not quite double jointed elbows, but you got a good range. You can at least do like when he pounds his chest, you can get him to do that at least, or to get him to scratch his body. And this time around with the torso section of this figure, Let me just adjust them here. So you got more range this time, but in terms of like moving him back like that, there's definitely more range here. But trying to get him to crouch down, I feel like this figure needs a little bit more. So like if you guys are into modding your figures, you can definitely do that. Like I did that with my last figure just to get a little bit more range for him crouching. And yeah, I feel that it needs more. And also with this figure, this time around, you get neck articulation. So see, now let me just pull this off here. Okay, and the peg's a little bit shorter on this figure here, like for the head. So if you want to adjust his positioning of the head, you can just play around with the neck. Okay, so you got a little bit more range of like making it look more organic when you want to pose him, you know, him turning his head, as opposed to the last figure, which didn't have a neck articulation. So like this looks a little bit more natural looking. Okay, I do wish this could look down a little bit further, but you know, you can you get good range like when you're looking up. Okay, very cool. So you can swivel him side to side. Okay, so again, like he needs a little bit more range for crouching. You know, to do that crouch, he can't really, you know, he's good. I mean, this is a lot more flexible than the previous figure. And you can get the knuckle stance with this figure finally. So let me just switch out the hands and I'll show you guys. Okay, I've switched out the hands for this next part here. Now, before I go get him in the pose that I want to show you guys, I want to show you another big important function that this figure now has as opposed as the other one. So if we pay attention to the legs over here, you know, a lot of people had complaints that, you know, the legs were stiff on the last figure, but now look at this. You can, it's got a drop hinge now on this leg, so this allows for more leg movement, leg articulation, which is really awesome. So you can get him to sit better. Okay, so and now you can do that like pose him naturally. You can pose him naturally like how gorillas sit, more naturally. So you don't have to worry about your legs snapping off. Okay, because I know a friend of mine, Atomic Goji, his legs snapped off because they were just too stiff and things. So this is awesome. Okay, so now let me get him in the gorilla in the knuckle walking pose. And there we have it. Finally, the knuckle walking pose. And it's so much easier to do with this figure because of the added articulation on the legs, the drop hinge that you can adjust the legs better, and the new butterfly joints on the shoulder. So now this time you can actually bring his arms to the front and he can fully extend it like that. So you weren't able to do that with the last figure. Very well done, Hiya Toys. Thank you so much for listening to our feedback. This is great. I really like this figure, and man, I can't wait to do more toy photography with this guy. So with the improved articulation, you can do better running poses and things with this figure. Now, unfortunately, like he can't really keep himself up in a running pose. You kind of have to find ways to cheat it, especially like for toy photography. So here I'm using the tree as leverage. but very cool. Let's get into some size comparisons. Now, you can clearly tell that the new figure is not a reissue from the old figure. So he's shorter, his head is a little smaller, and I mean, look at the Kong 2021. Like he's built like a Mack truck. He's way bigger, much more muscular, as he should be at this point, you know, in time for this Kong. I mean, he is bigger, he's full grown, whereas this Kong, you know, he's a little bit leaner. Now, here is a nitpick of mine for this, for the Kong characters, for both of them. Now, Hiya Toys does have the reputation of, you know, getting the MonsterVerse figures pretty much screen accurate. I mean, they have used the CG data for some of the characters like Godzilla or Rodan in the past and things, okay, but it doesn't look like they were given access to the 3D data for Kong, because you can clearly tell, I mean, he doesn't look film accurate. Like, he's great, okay, but the one thing, like, if you look at pictures and stuff like that, Kong 2017 is not this wide here in the midsection. He's actually a little, it actually should look more like this as opposed like this. And for Kong 2021, his midsection looks more like this. So it's kind of been reversed, you know, and unfortunately, like, I can't really switch you know, the midsections out, or else I think that would be pretty bang on, in my opinion. Giving you another comparison, we have the Skull Devil on the left and Godzilla 2021 on the right, and you can see just Godzilla just towers over this new Kong. Now, for my final thoughts on this figure, I think this figure is definitely worth picking up. There's a lot to like here. The improved articulation more than makes up for the for that tiny shortcoming that he's not screen accurate. Hopefully we will still get a Kong that's a little bit more screen accurate in the future. So in my opinion, all they need to do is just to slim down his midsection, and I think that would be okay. I do hope that we see a calm expression for the next variant, or even the boat propeller, so if you're into put in his hand. So that's one of the things missing. I mean, we got two heads. You know, this figure really needed a third head, that calm face expression, because I like doing toy photography with Kong when he's like to himself and he's like contemplating and things. Unfortunately, I can't do that with this figure because this figure just doesn't have that expression. But hopefully in the future, for the next variant, Hiya Toys will pack the next Kong with another head, with a different head, the calm expression head. All right, guys, that's it for this video, and thanks for watching, and please stay tuned to the end for the photo gallery and the behind the scenes. Take care, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.